we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I had a better idea. Put it on the table, okay?
This permission thing is.
Okay, bye guys.
Don't be John.
She slammed the door.
This permission is nothing new, but I felt that few of the developers here know how it's working, so I just get it up. Like file permission. File permission has three basic things like read, write, and execute. It should be very intuitive. Like read is to read the file, write is to write to the file, execute is
Execute the file.
to execute the file. So if you don't have any of these permission, then you get something like permission denied when you try to do things with the file. You may have read and execute but not write, and some weird combination. In some weird thing you can have like read, write but not read, and write, read and execute, but that doesn't matter much. Now on directory, you also have read, write and execute.
How can we execute?
But it means other things. Read means well, you can read.
Open, right?
Open. What do you mean by open?
List.
This is for execute.
I mean, go inside.
Yeah, go inside.
Right.
So this is reading. Write is for managing files, like create and delete. So if you are in a directory that you don't have write permission, you cannot create files, you cannot delete files. You may be able to edit the file if you have permission to the file, but you cannot create and delete. And read is something like open, whatever.
Go inside.
CD, I think.
CD. Go inside.
Go inside. Okay. There's some more attributes like sticky and set UID and some weird things. But I guess you guys won't need to know about those. For file and directory, it is simply just this. But in the system, you need to assign this value to users. So you need to have user groups and assign the permission to them. So on a file, if you do ls -l, like this in the long form, you will see the permissions. Like an example might be read, write, execute, read, minus, execute, read, minus, execute. This go to the groups. We have three groups for permission. The first is user. User is the owner of the file or directory. The second is group. The group is also an attribute of the file and the directory. It corresponds to the Unix group, which you can add more users to one group. Group names can be something like SSH users. Group names can be like sudo. Some systems are set up so that if you are in the sudo group, you can sudo. If you are not in the sudo group, you cannot sudo. The last one is other. That means everything else that is not in user or group. So another thing about the group is normally a user corresponds to a group. So if in your system you have a user named Long, then that user also belongs to a group named Long. So it automatically make a group for you. Yeah? Okay. So group is a way that you can give permission to more than one user to a file or directory. So if you make it so that the file belongs to Long, but the group is bit and byte. Let's say we create a group named bit and byte and add people to it. then people in the bit by group will have the permission correspond to the group. So breaking this out, the permission here is also 3 parts. This is first part, middle, and last. The first is user, second is group, and the last is order. We can have any kind of combination, like user can have less permission than order and group, but it doesn't matter. These 3 are separated. So normally user have all kind of permissions. Maybe not execute because some files you don't want to be executable, such as Java file. Java files are not executable. XML are not executable. Shell script file can be executable. Python file sometimes executable, sometimes not. So it's somewhat a good practice to keep files non-executable until you need them. And well, so this read, write, execute can be collapsed to a number. Normally you will see permission 777 or maybe 755. This number means something a little bit funny. So the read here, no, let's go from execute. So execute has a value of 1. Write has a value of 2. And read has a value of
4.
4.
It's binary.
Yes, binary. So 1 and 2 and 4 totaling 7. So the number 7 means read, write, and execute. The number 5 means what?
Mean read and execute.
Yeah, number 5 means read and executable. Sometimes you see 644, which means read, write, and then read, and then read. So this number is a short representation of this one. Sometimes it's hard to remember.
Oh, so it stands for 3 group, right? User group and
Each
order.
number here
is
one bunch of this. So first one is user, second one is group, last one is order.
Okay.
So
So
this
comfortable.
is the same thing as this one. Okay. Now this is shorter, but it's tough to remember. So initially I don't remember it. I just use this rule to figure out what is what. But then after a while I remember it. Maybe you don't need to remember it. Okay. So that's the basic about what permissions are and what they do. Now some commands to work with the permissions. Do we have another one?
Okay.
So the 3 main commands that we use to work with permissions are change home, change group, change mark. Readable?
No.
Change group is funny because the name is they are afraid of vowel or something. So no, it doesn't mean that. They just make it so that it's short.
Change
So,
red.
Do we really need change group because change O can?
Yeah, it can. So change home is to change the user. Change group is to change the group. Change mod is to change the number, whatever.
The permissions.
Yeah. So we can use change on to change the group, but sometimes you just want to change the group and not change the owner. So this will be faster. Like if you want to use change on to change the group, then you need to change it to the same user and another group. You can do long colon BNB to change the owner to long in and the bit by group. So change out can do change group too, but it will be faster. Like you can just do change group bit and by. Sometimes it's more convenient.
1 millisecond faster.
No, you actually need to type them. And if you type them wrong, you need to type them again.
Oh, and any chance that I can change the group that file to another group, but the owner from the other one?
That's how you use change group. Like change own will change on the user and the group. So if you want to change the group only, then you need to do change group.
What will happen if I have channel empty colon bit and byte? Mean I ignore long back.
Can you do that?
I don't know. Will it be a syntax error? I hope so.
I have never tried that.
I hope it will be a syntax error.
Okay, probably. Whatever. But sometimes you have a directory with different users, like a directory with files, and some of the files belong to Long, some of the files belong to Duy, and you only want to change the group, but you don't want to change the owner, then maybe you should use change group. Okay, now change mode is interesting. Most people just do change mode 777.
Full control.
But if you have an LS that can do colors, then 777 will make the text look bright because it's green and all kind of colors. It looks ugly.
It's support Rust anyway. Should be marked that way.
Okay. Some program will give a warning when you have a file system that has 777. Just some. So the right way to do change mode is to use something like 755, but this is not good either because you still need to. So I need write permission. So what's the number? So you need to do some kind of calculation, and even then you may do it wrong, and even then there's some other issue. Let me show you. Change mode, you can use another syntax like change mode. So you want to change the group, so just do group plus right. This is a nice way to do pretty much the same thing as this one, but it's nicer because you don't have to calculate the numbers. It is also easier to remember. Group add right. So you can do group plus read right, and then the group can read and write. So you don't need to remember those numbers anymore, which is a nice thing. Another thing that is also nice is if you change mode for a directory, and some of the files are executable, some of the files are not executable, and you use something like change mode 775 maybe, then you make all the files executable, which is not cool. So this way is better both in the mean of easier to remember and both in the mean of reducing the impact to the system. Like you only really change what you need to change. Even you don't touch other things. A change mode with 3 numbers will reset everything regardless of whatever state it is in now. So imagine some file that has 777 and you run this command and it resets the permission, which is not what you want. So use this one, easier to remember. So you can do change mode user plus read write x. Also easy to remember. You can also do change mode plus x to make it executable to everyone.
Sorry, but can a file belong to both owners or both group at the same time? Many user, many group at the same time?
Not many user.
Okay.
Only one user, one group.
Okay.
So that's the limitation of the Unix control system. Because of that limitation, they make something called ACL, access control list. And the access control list gives you the ability to add multiple users, multiple groups to some access control rules, such as all the root can access that, but this root cannot. Something like that. So, but you are not likely to mess with ACL. So when you meet with it, then you just research on your own.
Just tell you.
So this is something that maybe we do quite regularly, like make the script executable. So if you write a Python file and then you want to run it, you first need to make it executable, then you can run it.
I can use the Python and the file name is still run.
It costs you 6 characters.
Let me count. 1, 2, 3.
But that's
about
6 characters every time.
No, it just up enter.
Yes.
How about you log out, you log in? How about
Control A.
Have you ever heard about done?
No.
Once you log out, make sure you get things done already.
What if you need to run that file again?
Control A.
Control R will also only remember for 10,000 lines.
That's pretty much what I have.
Sometimes less. And if you run this as another user, then you don't have history at all. Yeah.
I never enjoy history, but textbook anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You can do up because of history.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's because of memory, not history.
No, after you log out and log in, it's history, it's not memory.
Oh yeah.
But if the command is so fast, so you have to it's really.
That's more than 6.
Yeah.
So control R is somewhat
Better.
faster, but you have to do control R, which might hurt your fingers.
So
What's the
this next talk is about lazy, about laziness.
Yeah, system admin on about laziness.
So this is about permissions. Now some stuff about changing user. You all know about sudo, right?
What is it?
I know that is a powerful command. That's it.
No.
Yeah. What does it do?
Whatever.
Give you power.
It's change the user permission to root.
Okay, half correct.
No,
permission.
It execute the file, execute the command, and root permission.
Okay. Also half.
So we both are good.
No, most of us will.
So sudo is to switch the user. It can switch to any user.
No.
Not just
Sudo that's you, right?
No. Sudo do something, then
as
it
another user.
it just like run that file under the permission of that person.
Yeah.
That's what I
command
said.
too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No,
You
but
said the
it's
root
not
user.
just root. It
Oh,
can be anyone.
okay, good. Okay.
So that's what I often use for. I always use for bit and buy and click. Like go there under my user and change to another user.
So that he will not be blamed.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the files are owned by click and bit and buy. I cannot edit it, and I'm too lazy to add myself to the group. So normally you do sudo and whatever command. Like this will run your thing as root. If you want to run your thing as another user, then you do sudo -u and the username maybe bit and buy and the command. Maybe even -u long the command.
Minus you long mean remove long.
No, which means except long.
Wax. Remove long. This can do other things as well, such as give you a shell. Like you go to the bit and byte machine as your user, and you want to become the bit and byte user, so that you can run list and cd and git. So you can do sudo -s for shell, and minus U and the username. So this will change the current shell into the bin by user, so that you can edit the file and access everything the same way the bin by user can do. You can short circuit this one into SU, like the two combine into one.
My arm is broken.
I think that's pretty much it. Change more to the anything else? Any questions? So it's more funny. So it's somewhat similar to sudo. But
Group contain many users.
It's similar to sudo minus s. Like it gives you a shell. Like it switch user. It switch to root, and that's it. You can also switch to other user. But yeah, but if you know how to use sudo already, then you don't even need to.
The user permission is higher. Ask Hoang about that.
So is there
Maybe the priority of the user is higher.
similar to
Look at this guy.
in Windows?
Windows. Okay. You know what's the problem with your NTFS drive? What?
Infested by Windows.
Okay, let me tell you the story. So he has an NTFS partition that is shared with Windows and Linux. And inside Linux, the partition is always 777, and you cannot change more.
Why?
Inside. Oh, I remember that when I tried to reinstall the Ubuntu out of the Mint, then all of my file FBS executable. All the text file, the every file, FBS.
Because these are stored in bits, and they're stored in the file system.
Which file system? Windows or?
Well, this thing is stored in the file system, and the Windows file system doesn't have the space to store those things. So the permissions simply aren't kept. You cannot change more, you cannot change all, you cannot change anything. The 777 that you get is from the mounting option. So Linux will access the NTFS partition and map it into files and make those files appear as 777. So they just appear so because there's no permission. So you cannot change permission.
There's no permission and they set the permission into 777.
You can change it into 755 if you want, if you like to.
Just a mapping option.
Yeah. So it's a permanent option. Not permanent. Every time you access to that thing, it is set there and you cannot change it. So that answers your question of Windows doesn't have that thing. On Mac we have, because Mac is Unix.
Okay, ask him.
Huh?
Something similar.
Some things? No, nothing at all. In Windows, you can go to the file system, delete things, and the OS will start working. On Unix, that's not going to happen.
Hey, so what is the order of checking the permission from, like, when you check for the permission, you check from the user to the group to the other?
Check, like what?
Like, a user might not be allowed to do something, but the group might be,
can.
yeah. So,
Here maybe the priority, he want to ask the priority.
Like what? Oh, did you remember that there's no minus? They're all plus. So the user, the group, and the order are taken into account all together. So they just sum up everything.
Oh, they just sum up everything?
Yeah. And so if in any one of user, group, or order, you have the permission, then you have the permission. There's no deny. They're all grants.
Oh. You see?
Thuốc khang nghe điên.
Right. So anything else? We're done, right?
Yes, we done.
I ask some extra question.
Okay.
Are you done?
Do
I have
divide
never
the
started.
partition in Linux?
Yes.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Really? How did you install Linux?
You did.
from Windows.
From Windows?
How can you install Linux from Windows?
That sucks. We should format your drive again.
No,
Wait, how can you install the Linux from Windows?
you
Movie. So it's installed inside Windows like a program. That's very funny. Ubuntu try to do very funny things to get the user to try it.
Attract the user.
Yes. Do you need some time to prepare your thing?
Yeah, my thing is not
So
up yet.
several features
Please.
in Linux when you install it in Windows will not work.
I would suppose so. Actually, I've never tried it because it sounds. It doesn't sound stable.
It's a dinosaur.
Like you run an OS inside another OS, but that's not totally isolated. It's somewhat interwoven with the original OS. I'm fine with VirtualBox or some virtualization software. Like it's virtualized, so it's inside. It's separate. But this one is somewhat in the middle. Like it can access the Windows, and then the Windows maybe can access it, maybe not. But it doesn't feel good, so I have never tried. I can do some more about partitioning, but what?
Okay.
Well, when you say stop, then I can stop the recorder.
Okay, I think fuck it means stop.
sorry.
I will zoom in.
So, another
Okay.
question.
So the thing I'm going to